Hello, and welcome once again to the Cade Nerk Show podcast. So, there's a lot of crap that's been going on here the last week. First, I'd like to get into the socials. So, you can follow me on Facebook, X, TikTok, Twitter, or that is the same thing, True Social, and YouTube. Cade Nerk Show on all of those, except for TikTok is the Cade Nerk Show. So, the Ohio State, just like that. So there's all those. So please like, subscribe, follow, and share on all of those. And then also you can watch the show. There is no video yet. I am working on getting video for this podcast. But as of right now, you can just watch my beautiful logo that my brother came up with on YouTube, and you can watch the show there too. So yeah, youtube.com/Cade Nerk Show. So please like, subscribe, follow, and share. That would be great. So there's a lot to get to today. There's a massive bridge collapse in Baltimore, terrorist attack in Russia, plus Trump things, and just more border chaos. So there's just it's great stuff. Have some interesting perspective on the the bridge attack, or not attack, but the bridge catastrophe yesterday in Baltimore, Maryland. But first, let's get a little sports. We can do a little fun thing, and then we'll get into the awfulness of the world that we live in. So, like always, sports. So the NFL came out yesterday or the day before, and they're kind of changing their rule. They might change the kickoff to where I guess there'll be more kickoffs, and it'll be more exciting, and it won't just be touchback after touchback. Maybe they should change it to see, maybe move the kicker back a little bit and see if you can make it through the uprights, you get a point. How about that? Why don't they do that? That'd be kind of fun. Make kickers more in the game, I guess, than just extra points and field goals. That would be pretty cool if you can make it through. Move the kicker back maybe 10 yards or so. And if you can kick it through the uprights, you get a point. That would be pretty cool. But they are taking the hip drop tackle away. So if you wrap around a guy and you just kind of go straight down, you just drop, that's now a penalty, or it is illegal to do that. There were some NFL guys that were pretty upset about the whole thing, just because they were like, well, this is ridiculous. Like J.J. Watt is one of them. He's pretty upset. He was on the Pat McAfee show here recently after this came out. I was like, well, why don't we protect the defensive linemen from the guys going low on us? He tweeted out or X'd out, fast forward to the belts with flags on them. So a lot of these guys are not very happy. Ryan Clark says, go ahead and outlaw bringing offensive players to the ground. That's where we're headed. Make every game the Pro Bowl. This is getting ridiculous. And then one of the Dolphins defensive players, Javian Holland, said, breaking news, tackling ban. So some things coming out of the NFL that some players aren't very happy about, current and post players. But so that's kind of what's going on there. MLB spring training is now officially over. This is the day before opening day. So opening day is tomorrow. It should be a national holiday. The Astros open with the New York Yankees in Houston. So let's go Stros. It's a new season, a new opportunity. And it's just amazing. I'm so excited. We got a new manager, Joe Espada, who was one of the bench coaches during the Dusty Baker years. And I want to say he was there with A.J. Hinch too, but not 100% sure on that one. So opening day for baseball is tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And if you're into March Madness, I got into that, did a little over a dozen different brackets. And sad to say, they're not looking so good. I think the last time I looked, it was, my best bracket was 1.9 million ranked. So yeah, not so good there. BYU got bounced first game by Duquesne, which is very frustrating. I guess they had BYU with that loss busted the most brackets ever with like 9 million or something like that. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Even worse than Kentucky losing to Oakland, which is a small little school up in Michigan. So, yeah, March Madness, we're up to the Sweet 16. So hopefully your bracket is better than mine. But let's get into this here now. We've spent 5 minutes talking about sports and other things. So, tragically, yesterday morning, or early in the morning in Baltimore, Maryland, where I actually used to live in the early 90s, late 80s, is the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after a massive cargo ship smashed into one of the pillars there, and it brought the whole thing down. I mean, it looked like it was just sticks when that thing smashed into it. And the vessel, kind of an interesting thing, just some interesting statistics about this particular vessel. Let me pull, and there's of course there's all kinds of theories going around that this was either intentional or it might have been just an accident, just a freak weird accident. But there's some compelling arguments that this might have been some kind of cyber attack where the ship lost, the ship was taken over. And because if you watch the video, it looks, the ship loses power, it goes dark a couple times, regains power, and then just smashes into the bridge and the whole thing goes down. The pilot of the ship did call and say that they had lost power and they did not have control of the propulsion of the ship. So luckily there weren't as many cars on that road, because that thing, it's just an amazing, it's crazy how, that is the wrong article, because there are 140,000 jobs that are in the balance, according to the New York Post. It is a massive port for cars and sugar, apparently. I didn't know that Baltimore was a big sugar importer. But so in the article here from the Post, it says threatening the major disaster for the economy, threatening to disrupt 80 billion in cargo that travel to and from one of America's busiest ports, and more than 140,000 jobs are tied to the shipping traffic, experts have said. So this is going to be huge. This also, let's see, it says it's also the leading nexus of sugar and gypsum, which is used in fertilizer, drywall, and plaster. A record 52.3 million tons of foreign cargo are transported through Baltimore in 2023. So this is just, it's a little over a mile and a half long bridge. And it just crumbled. I mean, this ship is almost 1,000 feet long and weighs somewhere, with cargo and everything, 100,000 tons. And, I lived there. Obviously, I don't remember, because I was really little. I don't remember living there and doing, driving over the bridge. But probably we did. And it is just 31,000 cars travel over that bridge every single day. So this is just going to be an absolute nightmare. It'll probably be, they're looking for the 6, I think they have pronounced them dead, the construction workers that were on the bridge trying to fix potholes. Today they have said that it's now not a rescue mission, but a recovery mission. They're just trying to recover these 6 people's bodies at this point. So just absolutely tragic. And there's just, with this ship, there has been issues with this ship before. According to the Blaze Media, one of their articles here, Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge is apparently not the first structure that the Dolly, that's the name of the ship, is the Dolly, has left its mark on in recent years. The Singapore-flagged container ship that obliterated the bridge and effectively closed the second busiest port in the mid-Atlantic, I guess in New York and then Baltimore. That's what I would assume. Atlantic Tuesday morning previously had an incident in a Belgium port. The Dolly, like I said, 984-foot vessel owned by Grace Ocean Private Ltd. And managed by the DEI captive Synergy Marine Group, collided with the stone pier in the port of Antwerp during unmooring maneuvers on July 11th, 2016. The incident, which reportedly occurred on a clear day with good weather, resulted in significant damage to the stern and the transom of the ship. So there's a video that I will post on my social medias of this ship smashing into the dock here. Apparently had electrical issues then too. So there was speculation that it was cyber attack back in 2016 as well. So Vessel Finder noted, the article continues, at the time the ship remained afloat but suffered breaches near the waterline as well as serious damage to its berth requiring repairs. The ship was detained and closed for cargo. As a general rule, these accidents are investigated and ships are only allowed to leave after experts have determined it is safe for them to do so, a spokesman of the port Antwerp told Reuters. The incident was reportedly the result of mistakes made by the master and pilot on board. This is how these people obviously clearly didn't learn their lesson. The same ship, it goes on, attempted to leave the Baltimore harbor just after 1 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday morning. However, while traveling at the Maryland, Governor Weiss Moore indicated was a very while traveling at what Maryland Governor, there we go, if I can actually read the words that are printed out here, Westmore indicated was a very rapid speed. The ship allegedly lost power. The pilots alerted authorities, but were eventually unable to arrest the ship's progress. So they had, Baltimore Commission had reported that there was no indication that the Dolly had rammed the bridge intentionally. But I'll bring this article or this perspective of a journalist saying this something might be a little bit different than that. So let me go on because it goes on to what happened there. I want to get into the Synergy company here. So Synergy Marine Group, the company tasked with managing the ship, appears to have priorities besides collisions with critical infrastructure. The company touts itself as a leading ship manager, providing end-to-end maritime solutions with precisely and expertly tailored services. Yeah, what was precisely and expertly done yesterday, where 6 people have now lost their lives because of this negligence. Synergy Marine Group states on its website that issues related to diversity are a high priority at Synergy. We realize that the benefits of diversity are best achieved by fostering greater inclusion and belonging. So that is their goal. This Synergy company is to be DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So meaning that it doesn't matter if it's the best person for the job, as long as their little quotas of, as many, they have to have a certain number of men, a certain number of women, a certain number of blacks, a certain number of whites, and all that fun stuff, and the list will go on and on with that. So they are more concerned about that than who's the best to operate these vessels. The company indicated that its goal is a workplace that is truly characterized by inclusion and belonging. Oh, good. Who cares if you're the best at your job? Who cares if you can actually pilot these ships and do it safely, where there's no loss of life and no damage to the ship or anybody else's property? That doesn't matter. All they want to know is that there's inclusion and belonging. So days prior, the article goes on here, it says, days prior to paralyzing a major American port, the company underscored its commitment to diversity at sea and DEI. And so they had this nice little post here on their Facebook page, Synergy Marine Group. And it says here, it is so good to see the widespread positivity about the Global Maritime Forum All Aboard Alliance Diversity at Sea project. It's just where very specific sailing offer real-time data and aid of making seafaring more inclusive and tackling the main issues still encountered by women. And then there's pictures of them, sitting now at desks and holding up these little fun little papers and whatever else. So Baltimore, the article goes on here, was apparently at the company's latest stop in its DEI journey in building an innovative and sustainable maritime sector, which all can be proud of. It's just unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. So they're more concerned that they have women in these ships, or whoever else in these ships, than the best for the job. And then the president yesterday afternoon came out and said these interesting words. So here, have a little listen to what he had to say.
Leadership struck the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I've been over many, many times, commuting from the state of Delaware to our trainer by car. Been in Baltimore Harbor many times.
So this bridge is a car-only bridge. There is no train that goes over, around, maybe around, but yeah, there's no train for this bridge. So I don't know what the crap he's talking about there. But then he had this to say as well.
To move heaven and earth to reopen the port and rebuild the bridge as soon as humanly possible. It's my intention that the federal government will pay for the entire cost of reconstructing that bridge, and I expect the Congress to support my effort. The Port of Baltimore is one of the nation's largest shipping hubs. 15,000 jobs depend on that port, and we're going to do everything we can to protect those jobs and help those workers. This is going to take some time. The people of Baltimore can count on us, though, to stick with them at every step of the way until the port is reopened and the bridge is rebuilt.
So I watched that live as it happened, and as soon as he said the federal government is paying for the bridge, I was like, wait, what? Why? Why is the federal government fitting the bill for the reconstruction of this bridge here? Shouldn't the company that clearly is just more focused on DEI than the safety of its vessels or crew or others around this ship, their ships, shouldn't they pay for this? I mean, that's just no. Sorry, no. And then he goes, he's like, yeah, we're gonna be with you. We're gonna be with you till the end of this. Yeah, the same thing could have been. You said that the same thing to the people living in East Palestine that you took over a year to go visit. Yeah, it took them a year to visit those people up in East Palestine with that horrendous train derailment with all that pollution. If you remember that huge black cloud that was just hanging out while the train burned over, if you saw the satellite pictures of it, it was just this massive black cloud over this little city in Ohio. But he was going to get there real quick too, and maybe because of Baltimore and where this bridge is located, maybe you can get there because maybe like an hour from DC, something like that. I just kind of looked at the map, but maybe a little over an hour. So maybe he'll end up getting there instead. It took him a couple weeks or so to respond to Maui. So I was just sitting there. I was really trying to sit there and listen to what he had to say with an open mind. But at the same time, I'm like, can we trust this guy and anything that he says, that he's going to follow through with any of it? And the federal government's going to pay for it? No, how about the company that's more focused on DEI? How about they pay for it instead of us, the taxpayers? I mean, my gosh. So, and then Pete Buttigieg he just looks like a freaking weasel, this guy, which he is. But this is kind of what he had to say too.
years to build this bridge, but the president has been clear that this entire administration will move heaven and earth, and obviously that means we'll move concrete and steel to get this thing up as quickly as humanly possible. He also wants to make sure that funding is no obstacle to getting that done. I pledged the same in person to Governor Moore yesterday as I met with him and his leadership team. We've got to tear down every obstacle, physical and financial, to getting back to normal. There are so many people in the Baltimore area whose commutes, whose daily routines, whose jobs really depend on getting that bridge back up and that port back open. We're going to be here every step of the way.
Sure you are. But this is what he also had to say about bridges and just
underpass was constructed such that a bus carrying mostly Black and Puerto Rican kids to a beach, or it would have been, in New York was designed too low for it to pass by. But that obviously reflects racism that went into those design choices. I don't think we have anything to lose by confronting that simple reality. And I think we have everything to gain by acknowledging it and then dealing with it, which is why the Reconnecting Communities, that $1 billion, is something we want to get to work right away.
So the people who design these bridges are obviously racist because they build them too low. So I guess that's what happened with the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It was just too low, and that pillar was just in the way because it was racist. So it's the same guys, same administration, same everything. So let's get into a different perspective on what the crap happened here. So this post here on X by Laura Logan, who is a journalist, said multiple intel sources Baltimore bridge collapse was an absolutely brilliant strategic attack on U.S. critical infrastructure, most likely cyber, and our intel agencies know it. In information warfare terms, they just divided the U.S. along the Mason-Dixon line excellently, like the Civil War. Second busiest strategic roadway in the nation for hazardous material, now down 4 to 5 years, speaking of the bridge, which is how long they say it will take to recover. Bridge was built specifically to move hazardous material, fuel, diesel, propane gas, nitrogen, highly flammable materials, chemicals, and oversized cargo that cannot fit in the tunnels. That supply chain now crippled. Yeah, because the bridge is not there. Make no mistake, this was an extraordinary attack in terms of planning, timing, and execution. The two critical components on that bridge are now the two load-bearing pylons on each end closest to the shore. They are bigger and thicker and deeper than anything else. These are the anchor points, and they knew that hitting either one of them would be a fatal wound to the integrity of the bridge. Half a mile of bridge went into the water. Likely you will have to build a new one. Yeah. Also caused so much damage to the structural integrity at the bottom concrete part that you cannot see and won't until they take the wreckage apart. Structural destruction likely absolute. Attack perfectly targeted. So this is a very interesting perspective, I think. They have figured out how to bring us down. As long as you stay away from the teeth of the U.S. military, you can pick the U.S. apart. We are arrogant and ignorant, lethal combination. Obama said that they would fundamentally change America, and they did. We are in a free fall ride on a roller coaster right now. No brakes, just picking up speed. It sure seems like that. It seems like every avenue you look at, we're under attack in some form or fashion. The footage shows the cargo ship never got in the approach lane in the channel. You have to be in the channel before you get into that turn. Location was precise and deliberate. Choose a bend in the river where you have to slow down and commit yourself. Once you are committed in that area, there is not room enough to maneuver. So just interesting. I will repost this on X, which I think I have already, so you can go and read the rest of that. But just an interesting perspective that this might have been deliberate, might have been an accident. I don't know. What do you think? In today's world, it wouldn't be surprising if it was an attack. And I don't know. It's just interesting that right away he said the federal government would pay for it. Not that they're going to go after the company, not that they're going to go after, investigate the pilot or investigate the crew or the ship. Just immediately he was like, yeah, the federal government's going to pay for it, and financial obstacles shouldn't be in the way, even though we're $34 trillion in debt. So, and they've already spent almost $1 trillion on infrastructure. I mean, no, this isn't exactly, this a ship that size, wouldn't have mattered, but what they would have done, because it was going to come down anyway. So just some interesting thoughts on this bridge. Just pray for those families and those people that have been affected by this, because it's just tragic. Just absolutely horrible what happened. And then in other fun news, there are an attack in Russia as well, where over 100 people were shot. And I would not commit any any crimes or anything in Russia. If you saw, there was I forget how many, 130 people were killed in this auditorium thing. Just 4 gunmen opened the fire and just started killing people. This says here that the 4 gunmen, or the 4 men accused of carrying out this heinous Caracas City Hall massacre, have repeatedly been filmed being hit, smacked, electrocuted, and even being force-fed an ear by Russian soldiers. Yeah, so the Russian soldiers cut off the guy's ear and tried to make him eat it. So ISIS wasn't apparently very happy about that. So there's pictures of these guys in like the dirt or the woods or something getting beat. Which, if you're going to do something stupid like that in Russia, and then you kind of get the consequences of, there's a guy laying on the ground here with, looks like his pants are down and there are wires going to his tenders, his sensitive area there. A terrifying gang of ISIS gunmen killed 139 people at a concert on Friday night. This would have been last Friday night, and the deadliest attack inside Russia for 2 decades. It also left 182 injured as Russian officials undertook intense interrogation protocols on the men accused of the barbaric acts. I think intense interrogation protocols is a little bit of an understatement. And this chilling poster, ISIS, there's a poster associated with this article here. It's in Russian. I don't speak Russian. I don't read Russian, so I don't know what the crap it says. So in the chilling poster, ISIS described Russian as wild before they asked Putin to stop torturing Islamic State prisoners, because ISIS has claimed this attack already. So they then say the pictures and videos of their own men being abused and beaten has only increased their bloodlust for thousands of their brothers. So great. So ISIS is now attacking Russia, which there is speculation that there was stuff known about that, and just horrible. Just, golly, man, it's just awful. So prayers for those families as well, the Russians that are being attacked by ISIS. What else is there to do? This lovely first 30 minutes is just nothing but death and destruction. But that's kind of the world we live in today, isn't it? And then some other fun news. P. Diddy got raided the other day. His house in LA and his house in Florida were both raided because there's suspects him of human trafficking and the sex stuff. Like always, like all these disgusting people that are in Hollywood and music now and politicians. There's videos of his neighbors are saying, hey, he had bus loads of women in bikinis come to his house. There's a video a few years ago of him with Justin Bieber, and he said, yeah, we're going to party like no 15-year-old's dream ever would. And just, I mean, these people are sick and disgusting. But I thought it was interesting, though, that, they raided P. Diddy's house, or Diddy, or P, or whatever the crap his name is. They raided his house, but where's the list? Where's the raids for the Epstein list? Where's those raids at yet? Because they haven't materialized. They haven't come to pass. There's no raids on the Obamas. There's no raids on the Clintons. There's no raids on any of these other Hollywood people. And if he is guilty and he did all these heinous things and hideous things with women, there's people that have come out and said that he raped them. He's done all women. But if he did all these things, then absolutely he should throw the book at him, put him in prison. But just, where's the raids for these people on this list? Where? But the people that are in charge of sending out, like the FBI and all that, they're the ones that are on that list, and they're not going to send them to themselves or their buddies. I guess unless they, their friends cross them, then sure, then it's all going to happen. But yeah, so there's a article here by TMZ and his house is enormous. I was looking at that and I was at work and they were like, oh my gosh, this guy looks like he looks like a hotel. So yeah, they came and they took him down apparently, but he claims innocence like they all do. So just lovely. There's also the video that's going around, and I'm going to post it every week, at least once, of illegals breaking down the barbed wire fence, pulling it apart, and rushing through Texas National Guard to another more secure fence, if you want to call it that, rushing right past them, expecting and demanding to get let into the United States because they're just here. And there's another caravan that I've seen headed our way. So congratulations, Joe Biden. It is just absolutely despicable. And then these people have said that, the border is secure. Like, here, let me find this real quick. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but let me pull this up here. Let me pull up the right one. Let's see. I commented on that one, so probably not. Oh, come on, where is it? But anyway, yeah, so there's just videos of the video is just absolutely. And then there's another video that has come out where people are just, the guy cutting the fence, the barbed wire fence, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's just, if you think that you're attacked on every side then you're right, because we're under attack from seems like every aspect of our. Oh, here, I'll just play this because I cannot find the one I'm looking for. So I'm just going to play this one.
secure?
Invasion.
This should be shown every week until the election.
So I apologize I couldn't find the better video or the better audio, but that's the one that I shared on TikTok, so you can go on there and check it out. But these people are just despicable. These people are absolutely 100% despicable. They lie through the freaking face every time they open it. Every time. And then I wanted to get to this other thing here. So the Trump case is kind of on hold for a minute. Really, no. Oh man, it is just. Sorry, I have a little technical issues here. Let me get back to you just a minute. All right, apologize. The phone decided to freak out there for a second. So here, Trump, he was supposed to pay a bond of like $450 million or something like that. And so now he's now, according to Forbes, he is now one of the top 500 richest people on the planet, because he took his Truth Social public and it just made a ton of money, just an absolute ton of money. So the bond that doofus-faced judge decided to lay on him, when this case here against him is just absolutely ridiculous. It's insane. He inflated his numbers a little bit. So what? The banks didn't say that there was anything wrong. Nobody said there was anything wrong in what he did. He actually paid all the interest back to paid the whole loan back to the bank with interest. So the bank made money, he made money, and he did it early. He said that his properties cost a little bit, were inflated, the numbers a bit more. So what? I mean, that's nothing. So, yeah. So it's just a load of crap. It's just all these cases against him are 100% political. I mean, the thing with Fannie and her lover boy down there in Georgia, it's just one thing after another. It's just one thing after another with him that they are just coming after him, because if he wasn't running for president, none of this would be happening to him right now. And so this is what he said about posting the bond, because it was dropped from 50 million, something like that, to like 127 million. And so this is what he said outside of in New York City.
President Donald Trump, let's watch.
But this is a pure case of voter intimidation and election interference, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen. This case could have been brought by the DA, but they didn't want to bring it because they said they have no case, and then they bring it anyway. As you know, DA Bragg did not want to bring this case. He was forced into it for outside reasons, and it's a disgrace that it can happen. But this was a case that could have been brought 3.5 years ago, and they decided to wait now, just during the election, so that I won't be able to campaign. We'll be appealing this. For the other decision, it will be my honor to post, and we'll post whatever is necessary, whether it be cash or securities or bonds. It's a decision we appreciate and respect the appellate division very much, and we will, I think, do very well in that whole thing. We have a judge who I believe is a crooked judge and a crooked attorney general, absolutely crooked. We did nothing wrong at all, 100%, and that was proven, and everybody there said it was proven. All you have to do is read the legal scholars, and you see that it was proven. But we will continue with that, but we appreciate very much the decision of the appellate division. Thank you very much.
Did you catch the question?
What's your collateral on the bond?
What's your collateral on the bond? And he turned quickly on his heels and said cash. All right,
So, it's a lovely world we live in. But yeah, so it was dropped. You know, like he said, it's crooked. They're after him because they know they can't win. Like Rush Limbaugh used to say, in the arena of ideas. Man, is he missed. Is he missed. But speaking of Rush Limbaugh, well, Trump too. I'll say, I will take, Biden. They're always saying, well, he's gonna take us back. Yes, please. Let's go back to the Trump years where everybody in the country had money and was making money. Because where we're at right now, where nobody's making money and people are shelling out thousands more every year for the same things, except we get less. In some cases, it's not really working, and I don't like this where we're at. But yeah, just a crazy world. Pray for the Baltimore. Pray for the people in Russia. And the thing with P. Diddy comes out to be true. Well, see ya. Anybody think that anything will happen to him? But I don't know. Pray for the country. We need it. If you are looking for a good show to watch, though, I would suggest The Chosen. My wife and I, we have not been able to watch season 4. There are 4 seasons out right now. The 4th season they did it differently instead of releasing on their platform and streaming services as they did it in theaters. So if you have not seen it, I would highly suggest it. I have not seen season 4 yet, but me and my wife and I are rewatching the first season, and it is just a spectacular show. I've talked about this before, but if you're new to the show, welcome, and thank you to everybody who does listen to the show. Sorry I didn't say that in the beginning, but I would highly suggest watching The Chosen. Absolutely a must watch. It's just the way Jonathan portrays Jesus. I forget his last name. But he does an absolute amazing job portraying Jesus, making him more personal, making him more of a friend, making him feel like he's actually out there for us. And it is just an amazing show. So please, if you have not checked out The Chosen, I would suggest it. Absolutely. Their first season is on Netflix, and then they do have an app, The Chosen app, and obviously the website and stuff, so you can go check that out there. So check out The Chosen. I'm not being paid by them, but it is an amazing. Every time we watch it, we've already watched the first 3 seasons, or we're rewatching it. We do it Sundays, and just whenever we feel like we need a good picker-upper. I would suggest watching The Chosen. Absolutely amazing. And with that, hopefully you have a great week. Opening day for baseball tomorrow. Excited about that. But please pray for those affected by all these tragedies that are going on. Pray for the country, because we definitely need it. We need our hearts turned back to God. And because doing it this way isn't really working out very well for us, is it? Where we've kind of just said, you know what, we don't need you. We don't need God, even though the country was founded on those principles and morals and values. But yeah, so please, thank you so much to anybody who listens to the show. It is amazing. I did finally count the numbers here. And this show is in 8 countries, over 100 different cities in 24 states. So it is amazing to sit there and watch this thing grow. So thank you very much. So please like, subscribe, follow, share, rate on iTunes, Spotify, and all that stuff. So hopefully you have a great week. Happy Easter too, by the way. Almost forgot that. Talking about Jesus. Almost forgot it was Easter this weekend. So hopefully you have a happy and great Easter. And just remember, we are not alone. If we have faith in Him, He will bless us. And have a great week. Bye-bye.